northeast,
Yeah.
nowhere near the hogback.
So Jerry, on this camera here, if I do need to move this a little bit, because you may want to just stay on that one so you can zoom in and out.
Smallest member of the Buteo genus here in North America. Technically, they do not breed here in Colorado, though I have to say this past summer to the Midwest and the East Coast. They're what I call a woodland buteo. That is not a scientific term, but these are buteos that have patterns, habits, sort of the species that we can thank for the great research and East Coast hawk watching site up at Hawk Mountain, Pennsylvania. These poor little guys were slaughtered by the thousands, sometimes 10,000 a season. Hunters would go up into that natural migration pinching point, the cliffs up in Pennsylvania, and just shoot them as they came by. They open it up, but the striping sometimes, can you do this, reminds folks of Cooper's hawks, but they truly are black and white versus dark gray on space birds that want to live in the forest. Unlike the broad-winged hawk, the red-shouldered hawk here is rarely seen in Colorado, but once again, because we're in such a great location and the word has gotten out how beautiful our state is, we have seen both adult and juvenile or first-year red-shoulders cruising through here the last. So the red-shouldered hawk has a very, very long tail, and if you compare the way his tail looks compared to the broad-winged hawk, his stripes are much skinnier, or his bands. His tail is mostly what you could call black with thinner white stripes. They also have these beautiful, really cold. This guy is 5 years old now, and he has somewhat of an interesting story. He was found in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and he was on the ground the end of June with a fractured radius and a dislocated ulna. He was still being fed by a resident kite species. And really what I like to tell folks is this is truly a tropical South American bird that just happens to come to Colorado and other central, southern, East Coast states. This is a short-eared owl. This is one of 20 owl species we have here in North America. We only have them here in Colorado in the fall and winter. They're pretty susceptible to the heat. So they do breed one state north up in Wyoming, but we don't have any confirmed breeding records here. This owl actually has a very wide range around the world. They're pretty much found on every continent except Antarctica and Australia. This is also the only owl native to the Hawaiian island chain. The Hawaiian language name for them is called Pueothers, and that's what happened to her. She came from the Livingston, Montana area, and there were 4 babies in the nest, and somehow the parents managed to be killed, but the babies tumbled out and survived. We're in Scotland or France or other countries in Europe, this would be the smallest falcon they have because their kestrels are so much larger than ours. This is a male, and this is a male boreal or taiga race merlin. And yes, he is missing part of his left wing. You can see the deep, deep gunmetal gray, almost peregrine-like color that he has. They're very vocal. So this is a gyrfalcon. This is the largest species of falcon in the world. We do see them every once in a while in Colorado, and I'm sure most of you realize that for the last 2 winters now, 18 and 19, and then 19 into January of 2020, we had a male gray morph bird, quite similar to this one, hanging out at the Larimer County landfill west of Fort Collins. Sometimes they don't really establish territories until they're 4 or 5 years old. This is a bird with a circumpolar range, so they breed in Alaska, in Canada, Iceland, Greenland, Norway, Finland, and Russia. This is the national bird of Iceland, and 99% of the birds there are this gray morph. The white birds are found in Alaska and in Greenland, periodically in eastern Russia as well. And then there is a black color, and the birds are blackest in their first year. that are found off the Labrador coast.